back, episode 8, AP classes, advanced placement, English 102. Look, I haven't been in college in a minute. The things I've heard are very polarizing, but I want to make this concise. Let's get the point across. Look, if you're going to school, I strongly recommend you go to school with a very focused, finite reason. Don't do what I did, where I went because, I was just going for whatever reason. I'm going because everyone else went, right? I'm just gonna figure it out on my way. No, no, that's a lot of money, Buster Brown. And why do I say AP classes? If you're gonna go to college, I hope that you're hearing this in high school. If you are, by the grace of God, I don't know how you manage that, but good on you. But in any event, I want to talk about this because this is stuff I really wish I knew I learned. My goodness. If you're gonna go to college, Andre, take AP classes in high school. Why would I do that? Because you gotta take them anyway in college. They're called English 100 and math algebra so and so and this that and the other. They're called different things. It's called differently, but it's the same thing, and it's cheaper. And I never will forget this. It was probably one girl I met out of probably 1,000 people I've been in classrooms with. This one random girl. She looked like she was in high school. Guess what? She is. And she says by the time she's done with high school, because she's taking AP classes, so she has to like go to some metro campus and whatever, some general education classes. She said by the time she's done with high school, she will already had her 2 year degree. Let that sink in. By the time she leaves high school, she basically doubled down. She already knew she was going to go to college, and she just saved 2 years of her life. So while everyone else is getting their bachelor's degree, or let me say this way, while everyone else is getting their general's degree, she's getting her bachelor's degree. While everyone else is getting their bachelor's degree, she's getting her master's. While everyone else is getting their master's degree, you see what I'm saying? She already beat the game. That's the secret. There's so many success principles I could probably extrapolate from that woman's determination. But the main one is it's probably this one, focus. She just knew what she wanted. She knew the game. I don't know who told her, but they were very smart. They just, hey, if you're gonna go to college, just take these classes so you can just save yourself the time and money. More importantly, your time, right? Now you're like, oh wow, wow, I can't stress that enough. But what else? What else about college? If look, we need doctors, we need lawyers, we need teachers, we need this, we need that. We need people to go to school to do certain. Hey, let's be honest. I need a guy who's a heart surgeon who passed medical school. Duh. Well, it makes sense. It's gonna operate on someone's heart. It's a pretty big deal. Versus doing something that, well, quite frankly, doesn't have a high risk factor. Also, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know what I want to do. Well, here's a test. Here's a way to discern that, my friend. Look at your college. No, why did I say that? Look at your high school grades. The classes where you got A's on, like without even trying, you should probably look into fields like that. I know that sounds a little like guidance counselor, but that's usually a sign of I won't say natural talent, but a skill because it's like it's unusual. Like you have the capacity to just like do it. Here's how I knew mine. I knew I had a talent for speaking. I know you're probably thinking, well, this guy sucks at talking. I don't listen to these podcasts. But what's interesting is when I took public speaking classes, I'm telling you, dude, I met so many people that failed those classes, had nervous breakdowns, etc. But my goodness, I would get an A in that class. I got A in debate. I got A any class that dealt with like speaking. and articulating my thoughts, I got an A in. Like I was just good. I didn't even need to study. I didn't need to try. I was like, what's the big deal? You just talk. You tell people what's on your mind. What's the big deal? As long as your thoughts are in order, I didn't see what the problem was. Well, there you go. That's a sign. You know who you are when you know who you are not. And that may not be the whole answer, but it should be enough to get you through. You see what I'm saying? For example, you may not know what your purpose is. You may not know, I've had talks on that, but you may not know what job you want to do. Well, here's a thought. Work a couple jobs, and once you know it's like pulling teeth, guess what? Now you're getting closer. Well, Andre, how will I know that's not it? Fully commit to it. Well, what if it's not it? Then you'll find out sooner. That's the secret. Find out sooner. Get the answer sooner. Commit sooner. Anytime you waffle things, anytime you haphazard things, it costs you time and you short circuit the process. Sheesh. Don't do that to yourself. If you got any respect for your time, don't do that. It's not fun. You'll get resentful and bitter. He's like, "Well, I really wasted my time." Well, you could have escalated that by double. Really figure that out. It was that asinine. Hmm. College is a different beast now. I remember right before I left. Now books, you got online passes. Parking is hellacious. It's gotten very political. I'm not even being negative here, folks. I'm just telling you some straight up realities of colleges. Some of them, if you live states away, you can't drive for states. They want you to live on campus. That's more. Well, I can get a scholarship. You gotta make sure you keep up a certain GPA, and usually the scholarship has a prerequisite. Usually you have to swear your allegiance to some job. I don't even know. So it's a lot to think about. Take AP classes if you want to save 2 years of your life. At least 2 years. That's pretty decent. Like you don't have to worry about the fundamental garbage. Hmm. I pause because I don't want to say college is not. It is. You get out of it what you put into it, and when you know what you're going for, it's not as frustrating. But you have to actually want it. You're gonna go through a lot of inconveniences to get that piece of paper. Not only that, there's some people where they get the piece of paper, and now they have this proverbial bill on their head because I don't know, for whatever reason they just couldn't do it. Also, I hate to be that guy, but I might as well say it. You can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. You can't study and get blackout drunk. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're an alcoholic, or you have a problem when you like tell your friends with your low, quiet voice among your other friends, and that's a red flag right there if I haven't seen one. Uh, that indicates to me you know it's bad, but you talk to your bad. Oh God, God help me, God help us. You tell your friends, "Oh man, I just got blackout drunk. I don't remember." It's like, dude, you gotta stop that. I know you're thinking, Andre, that's the whole point, but it's like, do you see how counterintuitive, counterproductive this is? Why are you there? Now, don't get me wrong, it's a good filter, right? It's a good filter. You can find a. I'm sure it's a good filter for girls. It's like, okay, the guy here is trying to better himself and he's trying to get his doctorate degree. I should probably study with this guy, right? Study buddy. There you go. Bada boom, bada bing. There's all kinds of benefits, gang. Not only that, your social circle, that gets pretty good too, because you're associating yourself with individuals who are articulate and each and every year that passes is proof positive, right? It's like a filtering, it's a pecking order. So naturalistically speaking, yes. So there are some pros with it. However, there are some cons we have to recognize, and you have to be prepared for it. If you are not ready for these cons, if you don't have a strategy for it, if you just gonna go in there with your with a amateur perspective, you're going to get destroyed. You need to know who you are and what you want and why you want it and when you want it and where you're going to get it. Because if you can't answer those questions, I strongly recommend you don't go to college. Because if you think they're going to just, hold your hand and sha your way to happiness and peace, the devil is alive. And you'll find that out the hard way. I know as anyone, every time someone goes to college, but really they're just there because everyone else goes there, or they're just there because, uh, you know, the, their parents told them they're there because they're not there for them. Any reason beyond going there for their own self, it flops. Personally, I just didn't like having that financial constraint on my family. I probably could have got a scholarship and applied myself, I'll be honest with you. But I never just, the thought of that money and the debt and the bills, it's bad when we got memes about it now. We got colleges that have freaking banks, guys. The colleges loan you the money just so they'll own you. I'm not saying that's bad or good. It's business, baby. It's a interesting business. I don't like people who say, "Oh, yeah, so what if it's political?" You just ignore that. And it's like you want me to sell my soul to the devil, basically. But I digress. Look, once again, we need doctors, we need lawyers, we need teachers, we need this, that. We need these types of people with these skills to do it. But I have to argue that we do have the resources now through technology that you can better yourself kind of almost without it. You can, in fact, if you really want to test my theory, you don't even need a degree because a degree might get you a job. But results, yeah, I think people will go to you. If you, I would strike the guess if you had the ability to cure cancer, but you didn't have a doctorate degree, do you think people care? Like, if word got out, you ever wonder about that? Like, I don't think people I think there's a point, in my personal opinion, where if you get results, I don't think people care. Like once word of mouth gets that out there that hey, he can do dot dot dot. What? That's impossible. Kind of, it's like the Henry Ford machine. I guess you can say those are two different things, but my point still stands. I say all this for this point. If you're gonna go to college, take those AP classes and know what you're getting yourself into. Don't go in there haphazardly. It's like a minefield. You're gonna get your legs blown off. Oh God forbid if you go in there and you change your degrees, then it's like half your credits don't even transfer. How stupid is that? Oh, by the way, most of your credits, if you whatever reason life happens, and we get that, 2 years later, your credits dissipate. They're no longer valid. How crazy is that? So you got to go in there and go in hard. College, I'm telling you, man, whoever constructed that, they weren't messing around. All right. I think I'm loquacious enough on this one. Hopefully this is not for everyone. This audio I suggest would be for people who are in high school or you're just about to get in this mess. I guess it depends on what part you are in your journey. So there's that. Hey, go to those study classes room, man, or get those study buddies. I don't know what you gotta do, but one key factor for success that it was shown in colleges, I guess in anywhere actually, is when you have a network. You have people who are you're making friends with people in class, and you're all working together to understand. Unless you're a nurse and it does a curve, and you want some of your friends to get eliminated. I guess that's counterintuitive, but or you can just invest in yourself. Go to those what do you want to call them, math labs, or burn the midnight oil. You can do all that stuff. But here's another thing I gotta say: I've seen people. The reason why they get burned out of college because they're broke. They don't have a job. They're spending all their time at the college, and if they're working a job, then how they're studying? You see what I'm saying? It's a double whammy. Well, you live with your parents, okay? Well, or do you live on campus? Now you're getting in debt because I know that scholarship doesn't cover all that stuff. Well, it's a full ride. They can't cover everything, folks. I may be wrong when I say that, but there are just gonna. I being honest with you, I just think there's some things it can't cover. There will be some things it just doesn't. And besides, you're gonna go out and party. You see how you do you see all the conflict of interest? That's why I said you can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. There are some things that are in direct contrast with what you want. You cannot say, I want to fill up my car with gasoline and corn oil to the max, like the same amount. Like, how? The tank can only take one amount at a time. The tank can't double. Same, consequently, it's the same thing for here. I can't go out partying, drinking my face off, doing all that stuff, but simultaneously, I have to also study for my exam. And then you want to play a game called Do Both Simultaneously? It never works. So, and I think I like it. Like what Last of Us 2 said. I think it was Last of Us 1. Yeah, with Joel, and he said to Ellie, and Ellie's like, "What's that? It's a college." And she's like, "What's a college?" And he's like, it's a place where people find themselves." All my advice to you is this: do everything in your power to find yourself now. You don't have to find yourself in that dorm. You can find yourself sooner. It'll save you some time, money, and frustration, folks. It'd be better for you and better for us all. All right, for real this time. I'm done with it. Hope that helps. Have a blessed day. Talk to you later. Bye.